yóbbu dëkk bi kanam.
The Constitution provides President can declare a state of emergency in two circumstances. Now I believe Gambia la security is at risk for invasion. He has a right. Constitutional as it can last for 2 weeks.
yéen ñëpp gis ngeen ne dañu oote ne nañ ànd soppi nguur gi fi nekkoon loolu pexe la parti yi bokkuñu xalaat bokkuñu jubluwaay lii pexe la rek pour génnee ngu réew ci loxo benn nit te jubluwaay bi mooy won ne fexe nag nit ñi moom réew mi ne nañu ànd ci xel ñu tabaxaat réew mi.
Tegabi, you want to be humble and everything. You are not an ordinary minister in this cabinet. That's true. Because you are head of the UDP. You are like a father figure to most of the... It's the fact. Whether mom accept or not, so the point is, because of that prominence bigger the baro def la consult or legi yow ya de yobu ay nit ci baro pour mu appoint lolu moy lakte ndax li mo am.
President Adama dafa am mandate. Because Gambians choose. Ne na liggéey réew mi. mu tànn ay nit ñu liggéey ak moom man ci ñooñ la bokka ma ngi liggéey ak moom
ngadi ko ade mela ay mul ay tiñarol minke Gambia jang mul ka wole tan ka foko APRC fananda do tiñaro to la alle mu stade le sodo ka APRC ta kala image de da kotenge isaje fu Gambenol kotenge si la pati ñina kotenge
no yalo say you are putting me in a funny position mul ka fo do kam do ni fa de ko bita jahannam ni kala te ko kala
ñu ngi leen di dalal ci gis-gis yi tey bi tey nag ku ñu gis ñu sol max yi nii wane ne rek ne bés ni ki tey nit ñi dañoo bëgg di sol max because of gis nañ ne corona bi fu mu nekk nii mu ngi am doole a lot ci dëkk bi ba tax tamit moo tax ñuy jël jéego yi muy mesures yoo xam ne government ñoo ko wax pour nit ñi ñu def ko tey nag dañoo waxtaanee li nga xam ne mooy of course current situation yi dëkk bi we know very well ne corona bi right now mu ngi dugg ci dëkk bi and then mu ngi am doole a lot gis nañ even clinique boo xam ne mu ngi close tamit ñu ngi gis ne tamit tali yi baaxuñ dara nit ñaa ngi am problème ci wàllum transportation so loolu yëpp dinañ ci waxtaanee ci programme yi tey bi maa ngi of course am suma paneliste yi Rafi Diab Nene Freda Gomez Daba Malik Sabali moom dafa nekk si dëj moo tax mënul ñoo join ba den dinañu join shortly tamit dinaa am tamit ki nga xam ne mooy Jibril Balde moom mu ngi liggéey Ministry of Health as senior communication officer moom dinañu leeral lu bëri ci wàllum ñoom yan jéego la gars yi nekk di jël pour make sure ne li nga xam ne mooy corona bu mu sonal nit ñi naa start video Rafi nañ start programme bi right now we know ne gis nañ beginning of corona bi bu mu starté ñu gis government bi allocate about 500 million and then some funds yoo xam ne ñu ngi ñëw mu dem up to $1 billion and then part of lu gars yi def ci xaalis boobu noonu ñu ngi gis recently gars yi ñu ngi jënda ambulance and then some other equipment yoo xam ne dañ ko mën a use pour combat léegi fu mu nekk nii Rafi with everything lu government nekk di def yow sa gis-gis la nga foog ne government bi laalaguñ loolu wala defaguñ ko.
waaw balaa ñoo door programme bi xaaral ma just
sorry man ma fàtte sax.
waaw to Biri Biri.
of course.
the legendary footballer. bu Gambia mu ngi pass away yal na yàlla am rest in peace and yal na dem àjjana. lu mu defal dëkk bi is immense and I was very happy tam at least state funeral bu ko gaay jox président bi. Wow, it was very nice. So maa ngi ñu ko ñaaral and we are very grateful for lu mu defal Gambia. delluwaat sa question bi about government response to the COVID crisis. Man I feel ñun responses yu gars doon def yëpp gisuñ anything lu adequate lu gars def. soo demee nga gis even healthcare workers yoo xam ne ñoo nekk si front line bi di protect nit yi di def testing and all that they don't have adequate protection amuñ PPEs personal protection equipments amuñ ko gis nañ fi plane bu ñëw from Jagma ñu ne dañ donate masks ak other personal protection equipments wante ñun sax gisuñ loolu because comme yaa ngi gis ne tey ñun ñëpp ñu ngi sol masque yaa ngi génnee loi ñu ne nit ñi dañ war a sol masque but ana contingency plans you guys have in place to make sure ne ñun citizens yi am nañ masque so it means that yaa ngi génnee loi boo xam ne da nga bëgg a punish nit yi for not wearing a mask but joxuloo leen even means of them acquiring masks so loolu dafa gaaw because balaa ngaa mën a punish nit si dara at least nga jox nit ki sax mu am means na fan laa mën a amee masque ak yooyu waaye loolu sax gisuñu mu happen and I think ne millions yu ngay boo dégg ne gars spend nañ ko suñ ko investoon si masque la dina doon tane ñun ñu ngi gis ne gars yi wax nañ all these millions yu gars spend gisoon nañ fi rice yu gars doon jënda diwlin yeeg sukur yeeg di ko ñu ne ko distribution si sax France si ob bi rek la am soo ñëwee around area bii nii doo dégg dara lu ñu wax ne jot nañ am na ñu bëri léegi ñu ne ba léegi gisuñ maalo gisuñ sukur gisuñ dara ba pare soo diggee down into those things sax da ngaa gis ne ñu ngi laa wane a lot of corruption mu ngi faa play because am na ñoo xam ne maalo bi sax ñu ngi laa wane ñu ngi koo jëndee 1100 di ko jaayee government 1003 te government ñu ngay dem di forcer jaaykat yi maalo yi pour ñu jaayee maalo moo doon 1200 1250 so loolu doesn't make sense yow ñu ngi laa supply ba la ko supply 1003 yëpp daal yaa ngay forcer ñeneen yi pour ñu ko jaayee moo doon 1200 1250 so loolu sax soo diggee into it di nga gis ne a lot of corruption bu si involve te lu si saat mooy all this thing mu starté corruption nekk nga nekk di dégga doo lee déggal dara lu am fayda lu ñuy def quarantine bi fu mu nekk nii sax ñu ngi wane amaamuñ xaalis bi ñoo spend si moom is too much so maa ngi dégg seen ñu ngi bëgg a stop léegi flights yi because ñu ngi wane is becoming too much for them because xaalis bi ñoo spend pour quarantine yi xanaa mënuñu war a am yeneen means of pour mun quarantine yi nga xam ne sax government du spend this exorbitant amounts of money for example you are in emergency they can even maybe call the hoteliers and hotels yaa ngi empty they can have a deal boo xam waaye xam nga corruption bu dee daw si système bi moo garaaw moo tax yëpp du dee xaw so xaaral ma pare rek léegi man lu ma bëgg rek mooy pour ñoom ñu taka seen digga because fu mu nekk nii affaire si mu ngi doon di blow te WHO waxoon nañ la ne spike dina am sometime around end of July August warning was there before and we are seeing it and right now what we are also lacking mooy nekkuñ di am adequate information from the government because ñu laa wax sax ne even the testing ñu nekk test right now ñu bëri ñu testing ñu bëri ñu ko am right now te ambulance yi yes ñëw nañ waaye ambulance yi su la jël si fan la laa yóbbu are those places equipped the hospitals are they equipped do we have ICU beds and all those things we don't even have protection for the frontline healthcare workers léegi they are affected a lot of them are getting sick now te ñii ñu war a faj ñii léegi suñu feebaree kan moo ñu faj so the situation is very very critical right now and it's very sad ne man daal gisaguma any adequate response that they're doing.
ok nee na sa gis-gis ci government lu ñu war a def pour mutali li nga xam ne mooy mën a tax dañ combattre li nga xam ne mooy corona.
xam nga booy dégg di mutali dafa fekk mu am loo commencé woon waaye from si commencement bi gisoon nañ ne issues yi ñu doon am dafa bari woon ba pare our problem here in the country dañ dee trivialize things because dégg la coronavirus amoon na waaye ñu ci bari ñu ngi jàppoon ne feebar yi tubaab la feebar yi bitim réew la du egg si Africa ñu bari jàppee wuñ ko woon lu serious ba mu start di crawl down ba mu ñëw ba Sénégal even bi mu ñëw ba Sénégal so you would see ne life was so normal here in the Gambia bañ start di am ay 1 case 2 cases then ñu start ay lockdown ak ay state of emergencies ay yooyu noonu waaye da ngaa gis ne ñoom fi ñu starté state of emergency ba pare they did not sit down and draw up a map a plan of what should happen and then do the like what if contingency plans none of that did not happen until léegi because again this situation bu ñu nekk nii sax it's not like daf ñu beeta it was predicted we knew it was going to happen the question is did we believe that it was going to happen maybe not because nothing was done. All you hear about is fights about allowances, about remunerations, about benefits. Those were the things that were top of the table. Those were the things you hear every day, not things that we will do to curb this virus or this pandemic. Now we are now reaching the core, the peak of this thing hitting us. And still we don't have a plan. We don't have a good roadmap of how we're going to do things. Like Rafi said, a lot of money has been wasted on these quarantine centers, you know, and that it was all about deals and kickbacks. It wasn't about taking care of the people that might potentially be affected, people that are traveling in. Again, right now, I did not even see the need to open the airport. Flights coming in, you're already enough money to equip the hospitals, to buy enough materials to help the people that are already affected or the people that are in the country that could be affected. Léegi nga ubbi airport bi, more people are coming in. You are spending thousands, hundreds of thousands, or in the millions to these hotels for places that you are quarantining people. They also hospital, they're not even well equipped. You cannot do it. We've seen, I mean, how shameful could that be? The GAD, the Doctors Association, writing a letter trying to tell the government that, okay, this thing is getting out of hand. We are the ones in the front line. The nurses for Nanyoko, they first strike because you get strike in failing land allowances. Can see minister see, or starting from Barrow, can more receive salary from January to date? Or can la salary late? I can bet you none of them. But why should the frontliners, why should their salaries be delayed? Who delayed it? Why on earth? I don't see any excuse why those things should be delayed. Okay, nga ñëwati lolo dem na ñu strike, okay, negotiate, they went back to work, nga ñëwati you have the guard writing to them and say, okay, our nurses. The last time I saw it's like more than 50 or 100 doctors or nurses are in quarantine. Already the people that are already infected with the virus, it's alarming. Gambia doctors. So now if you take the people that are supposed to be looking after the people, if they're the ones that are at risk right now, where do we stand? And now the numbers are increasing. I mean, every day you hear in the double digits. Where are we going? And what are we hearing? Nothing. That then daily press conferences that they were doing just for photo shoot, because I don't know who told them they were nice on cameras, or all the pictures that was going on social media was good, and then they thought, okay, we could tap into it and then be famous or have some 5 minutes fame or whatever. That is not happening. They're not telling people nothing. So it's really, really sad. Poor man, I seen you know what? Let's all say they want a fankung. Ngoy bot sa dom. Ku ci nekk na xam ne the virus is real. Take care of yourself, protect your family, stay at home, wash your hands. That's what you can do. But then so fogene am nga fo weranda ko bula jappé.
Okay.
I pity you.
Daba sa gis-gis, and then ñu am Jibril Balde from Minister of Health, and Daba sa gis-gis.
Yeah, like comme lu Rafi wax rek ñu join suñ fellow Gambians si ñu jaale ndem si Yàlla Mamadou Ndiaye biri ñu ñaanal ko yàlla xare ko arjana ñu ñaanal ko yàlla xare ko arjana yàlla yàggal sarxam si loxo njabootam ak xaritam yàgg everybody. ñaan naa tamit government either ñu build a new stadium or ñu rename the stadium ñu tuddee ko and then maybe ñu check benn street in Banjul ñu tuddee ko ba pare def fa statue am pour at least generation bu ñëw ñu xam lan la defal Gambia. or ñu am statue am at the stadium, at the entrance of the stadium. Okay, ñëw si yëfi corona bi. Man, I think from the beginning the minister and his team have been doing a very great job.
Samate.
Wow, Dr. Samate. Compared to other countries even within the sub-region. Okay, am na yenn points yuñ mën a laajte. Mooy in terms of accountability and transparency with regards to the COVID money. Mun nañoo joxoñ suñ baaram ñu laajte façon yooyu noonu. And probably we were not prepared ne numbers yi dina high at this level. And also with regards to quarantine bi nu moo demee, I don't think that it's sustainable. So ban strategic plan la gaay am for the future because the amount of money that is spent on that, I don't think that it's sustainable. And I think it's important that they sit down as a ministry and also as government to chart a way forward. You understand? And another thing more, you can also blame the executive when it comes to enforcement of some of the state of emergency we guy declare, because I see no reason why would you declare a state of emergency at the end of the day enforcement is not happening. So pour man, it's about time you chart a way forward in how to open up the country, because tamit foog ñu understand ne like Gambia mënut a nekk lockdown continuously, because ñun number one we generate most of our revenues from tax, and it's important ne trade ak tourism back everything flights yu ñëw dafa contribute a lot towards economy. So foog at this moment gars yi jéem a toog strategize chart a way forward pour xam ban strategy la gars yi di jël going forward. But overall I think they've been doing a very good job. nurses si doctors si ñun amuñ lu ñoo wax gaay because the amount of risks that they are taking to be on the front line foog naa suñ leen waxut jërëjëf gisuma leneen luñ leen war a wax so it becomes also a collective responsibility both government nurses si ak ñun doomi réew bi tamit parce que lu Olof Njaay de woon dimbal na fa fekk loxol borom you understand because government also if they come out with a law to say ne nit yi nañ sol mask if people don't put on the mask government du mun a police everybody du mun a téye nit yi di arrest du mun a even if they go out arresting people du ñu mun a yóbbu ñëpp fan la ñoo detain gars yi understand nga and we don't expect ne ñu àgga level bam ne dañoo nekk di dóor nit yi o di la forcer pour ñu sol masque I think it's important tamit nag nit yi tam ñu jël responsibility ñu understand ne if not for them but also pour protect ñeneen tamit parce que yow soo bañee sol masque you're putting not only yourself in danger but also yaa ngi danger the lives of other people so dem la ñëw na I think it's a collective responsibility that all of us need to take both the executive and the citizens but more so the executive I think they need to be firm with regards to send state of emergency su gars they declare su nekkee ne enforcement becomes a problem then I think they should open up the country and then maybe start put nurses and doctors at the entry points so that ñuy test nit yi number one or you make a pronouncement that anybody who is coming into the country 1 week before nga ñëw nga def test and then you come with your certificate so ñëwee at the entry point you test la jël sa contact details sa address fooy stay and then monitor you but I don't think ne mun na ñëw continuer lockdown country bi because we are losing a lot of revenue.
ok maa ngi gis Modou mu ngi joxe close shot of sa max bi si bi génn
waa si sa moom ko diwoon so foog rek ma sol ko xam nga
ok kon lu ñoo def rek mooy naka biri there is a special tribute bu stories from the continent di def tomorrow with Hadindur I think so leen ko seetaan and again a lot of views about Biri and then doomam bi Yusuf Njie of course he's gonna be there ñum George Lover and a lot of them léegi nañ continuer ci programme bi but then balaa ñëw bàyyi ma try ma am kii nii mu join ñu and then ñu laajte ko few things about Ministry of Health so léegi Rafi fu mu nekk nii ñu ngi gis ne tamit mun nañoo wax su duggee rek danañ stop ñu ngi gis right now with Tabaski bi nii nu moo ñëwee nii ñu ngi gis xar yi all over turntable and everything and then even jaaykat yi most of them duñ dee wear li nga xam ne mooy max right now because to them maybe it's not very important and I don't know fan la gars yi jaare pour dugga fii nii I'm pretty sure dafa nekk Amdallah so I don't know what exactly the government put in place ba gars yi jaar fii but what do you think loolu lañ war a def ak crisis bi nga xam ne nit ñaa ngi bëri ñu ngi def sorry bàyyi ma jël kii nii and then ñu continuer wata allo Jibril.
Good evening.
waaw Jibril Balde na nga def.
Yes Mr. Jack maa ngi fay sant yàlla.
Jibril Balde ñu ngi laa dalal ci gis-gis bi yow yaay senior communication officer ci Ministry of Health of course yow yéen a nekk di yëngatu ci wàllum information yi jógee foofu noonu. léegi dama la bëgg a laajte quickly I mean there was a time ministre bi ñu ngi ko gisoon mu ngi demoon National Assembly and then mu doon explain ne gis naa hospitals yu bëri ñu ngi doon binda list or even ministry bi I believe ñu ngi doon binda list yoo xam ne names yoo xam ne ñooñu sax nekkuñ di liggéey ci ministry bi or nekkuñ di liggéey ci hospitals yi or bokkuñ ci front line workers yi na loolu fu mu nekk nii right now ndax solve ngeen that problem or still ngeen ni face that problem of having names yoo xam ne ñooñu nekkuñ within the system.
waaw loolu moom it is not the issue right now mooy ñoo xam ne sax seen names is in the system they are in the front line I understand some of them right now ñu are the ones having issues with their allowances am na ñoo xam ne jot nañ seen allowance yi am na ñoo xam ne benn tey they are in the front line some are in the facilities but come the issue of those ghost names loolu we are past that stage now.
ok léegi dama bëgg a xam ndax is it that ne government allocating enough fund loo xam ne dafa mën a make sure ne mu reach to all these people or is it that ne ñoo xam ne ñoo yore wàllum fay beeg yooyu noonu ñoom ñoo nekk di delay problème bi fan la.
waaw bi da ngaa gis ne comme like xam nga front line da nga am front line bi then am the general health staff so the front line those that is the setup of committees ñoo xam ne ñoom ñoo nekk ci national health emergency response bi so you have the risk communication team as a committee under that front line you have the surveillance team as a committee under that front line you also have the case management team as a committee under that front line but you also have the logistic team as a committee in that front line then new initially these are the people responding to COVID.
Okay.
Because largest from the call center 1025, where you lodge your complaint and the rapid response team will then follow up or pick up, and then to the quarantine centers and then to the treatment centers if you are the people. But after, initially they were only new pay. But when it was also disturbed by other health workers, even though they are not actually in the front line, but they are in health facilities working. And people, when they get sick, they go to the health facilities.
Okay.
And routine services at the health facility they continue. So that being the case, people even get infected when they are not as frontline workers, but they are in health facilities and then became infected. And when we have happening to some of these health workers, even one of them lost his life. So this was the reason now, instead of paying the money, 100 million to the frontline workers, now it is being distributed to all health workers.
Okay.
Wow, so this is the situation.
Okay, like Jibril, the only center ball am MRC, right?
For what, treatment?
For testing.
MRC is a treatment center.
Testing, okay.
Few beds, but the main treatment center is at Pini, the sanatorium. And after that time, it could have moved first because we have seen a rapid increase of cases on a daily basis. Because just in 3 days, we have 53 cases in 3 days. And so, Kobole plus yesterday 24, that took us to 70 cases. You understand? So you can see now we are talking about an increase of almost 100% plus. So da nga gis ne loolu tax na fu mu nekk nii active cases yi tamit noonu la ñoo yokkoo. So number of active cases loolu mooy determine treatment centers yi. So we have around 70 active cases. That means that the treatment centers, one of them their capacity is not much because fu nekk dafa ko dugal ci one patient. So that being the case, we have now increased numbers have been now at a treatment center, and before its capacity is full, and we have even now trying to transform some large hotels as treatment centers. So there is a plan, just like I was listening to your previous speaker, if there is no plan, there is no direction. But these things, well before the pandemic was registered in the Gambia, we have a plan. Every committee have a plan as to what to do and when to do what. You understand? So we are following those plans. More could be community planning, it's not for public distance. So this actually those plans, but every committee will have a plan, and that is costed and done well before we registered our first case. So and all committees are working according to their plan, and some are even adjusting because this is a pandemic. And as Brooks Communication, we are also making sure that we give update information because in an outbreak, your information is dictated by the situation. So situation be more change, then that information be the change. Because if we take today, the platform, we solve max. Like they give now everybody solve max except that lady, and I will encourage her next time to put on a max so that at least not for you to know that this is the right thing, but to send the message that this is the new normal. Because this is the new normal for 2020. We all have to embrace it and make sure that we protect one and each other. And as the saying goes, before we are not telling people to put on masks, but at this current period of the outbreak, that is the message. Everybody who is going outside should put on a mask. Anybody, anywhere, 400, we know about the physical distance, we know about that, put on a mask.
Okay.
And then,
Okay, Jibril. Okay, Jibril. Léegi nee daf laa wete benn question, and the reason why nee solid max bi man maa ko wax because dafa am buñam bi moo ko nekk di métti torop so su ko solee daf ko dee sonal.
Jibril, thank you very much for that clarification or for that explanation. But then lima bëggoon a laajte rek, I think you mentioned about Ndemban, and the reason why I was saying of the lack of plan, we've seen from the time that the airport was opened, when flights come in, you would have expected them. You already know when the flight is going to come, the time. There should be a bus ready. There should be health official ready. That as soon as people, hang on. Okay, hang on a second.
The last plane that came, we provided 8 buses.
Okay, hold on. Just hang on a second. Maybe so degloli ma bugawa. Maybe didn't understand ante. And I mean, because all these things are out there in the social media, it's all being covered. People are watching it live. It's not like it's being explained to anybody. We see that the flight comes in. People are ushered to a certain place, and then they're asked to wait for the bus to come that is going to take them. And between those times, that's when we saw that some people escaped not once, not twice. Okay, and for me personally, I think that is all lack of plan. You know the time, you know when, how. Why couldn't you guys have put all the things in place that as soon as people come, they ushered right into the bus and taken to the quarantine center? But then again, my question is, I mean, you have even mentioned here, we are trying to turn a hotel into a quarantine center. This rapid increase was predicted. So I want to think now, we know that this was going to happen. So if the plans were put in place, we should have identified, already we have the sanatorium, we have Ndemban, and then we identified another hotel with a huge capacity. That already been done. Now hang on. We identify another hotel with a huge capacity that we will not want to say, we will have cases that will fill up a whole hotel. But then you have clearly said here, sanatorium is full, Ndemban is full, and you are trying to, you use the word, we are trying to turn a hotel.
Patients are already there already.
Okay, well, okay, then now it's clear, because when you said we are trying, I'm saying, okay, you're already now doing it when the cases are increasing.
We are trying to make some hotels in the treatment centers, because what is already in use, we have already tested with one, and it is working fine.
Okay.
So if the need arises, we will just be adjusted, because as you see, the quarantine centers are done in many hotels.
Okay, Mr. Balde, Jibril Balde, just conclude with this. Right now, so I predict, I know that you guys, there are a lot of health experts you have around, you work with you guys to tackle the problem. So I predict right now, numbers in you have about 174 of yesterday, I think. Maybe they didn't 180 or even 90. Tell us, let's say fever December, so I predict that you Giss the lead of them down or if I go up, and then you conclude with this.
No, we will be seeing a rise, because as of now we are seeing, as the lady says, double-digit number every day. So in 3 days we have seen 53 cases, and plus yesterday 24. So that means 77 cases in 4 days. So with that trend, what we are seeing is a very steady rise before the end of this month, coming to the next month, August also.
Okay, Mr. Balde, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Ansu. It's a pleasure.
Okay. Sorry. Quickly. Is there any package where they provide max for Gambians? They cannot afford.
For the max, that's why I was giving a grace period. What we announcement, Gambia, enforce max, everybody get it today. So there is no the meaning people are giving time at least to acquire the max.
So ministry, they are not providing max to Gambians, no?
No, we are not providing max to Gambians. But whenever we are gathering, we make sure those people that we are gathering, we provide max for them.
Okay. So okay, there's a question from some small panelists. Jagma send on some stuff. Are they meant for health workers or for Gambians? Civilians.
Surgical max, so basically medical workers. That is what is intended for their use. So, but we are encouraging the local people to go in for the local max, because they are not in environments where patients are many, and all those things.
Okay, Mr. Balde is good. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks. Mungawa about that.
Government plan. So how comes then we are seeing the healthcare workers having the COVID and a plans for the healthcare workers. Understand? PPEs you got sol. Then you want to treat. So you should favor come on treat. So planning not good planning.
So Giss
suma gis-gis bi mooy am na lu nga sax mën a def am ñu plan loo xam ne ñu ko xam ñun ñoo nekk di taxpayers ñun ñoo nekk di fay gars salary whatever they're doing dañ ko war a wax ñu xam what's going on because lii COVID la. Communication is very important for the people to know what's going on. There is no adequate planning from the government. We have all seen how disarray and everything has been turning out. The very really healthcare workers are going to understand PPEs you got to protect from the COVID because before ñu ngi fa na di fi caaxaan la léegi nag suñu feebaree duñ am leen ku ñoo tëj bu ku ñoo tëj tam moom feebar
Okay, Nene, so gis si say lu wax so fi.
Well, he seems aware and he's doing his job. What do we expect him to do? He's paid, to speak on behalf of the government, and all I expect is to speak things that are going to be favorable on their part. Okay. But it's clear. It's not like we are assuming, we're making assumptions, or we are speculating. These are all out there. If the planning that I am talking about was really in place, I think that the last people to have been infected, Moroneka, the health workers. But then it's like the general populace have been taking care of themselves for so long, and we've seen it. The health workers themselves have came out and cried and say, we don't have PPEs. We have not been given things to protect ourselves. Our lives are at risk. They wrote an official letter. I don't think they're making that up or they're trying to put somebody into trouble. So man, I believe them, because if that was not true, I don't think they will come out officially and say those things. I believe it. And I believe even if they have it now, it's when they made the outcry out there in the public, that's when they will start to look at them and say, okay, get this. But they need to do the job right. Their lives are at risk. I had somebody the other time was saying, mom that they finance l'hôpital bi du ñibi, a frontline worker, because the paragal pour ñibi kër pour infect family and they ak wakirama yoy nono. I mean, why would you do that? After working stressfully in the front line, in the hospital, you want to go home in the comfort of your room, your bedroom, your bed with your family and loved ones around you, just to console you, to tap you on the back so that you'll be energized to be able to go back the next day. Okay. But if that doesn't happen, where are we going? So honestly, we can do better. I mean, they've been doing a great job, but all we are saying is there's so many things that, gaps, there's so many lapses that they need to fill. Okay. It's doable. They're able to do it because they have the help, the goodwill is there. So let them do it and stop the defensive attitude and the cover-up attitude, because we're seeing what's happening. Okay.
Daba sa gis-gis ci say lu mu wax fa nga ne government bi so far they're doing good according to him.
Man, I don't think lack of planning moo tax health workers are getting infected. Foguma ne lack of planning moo tax health workers or frontline workers are getting infected. Okay. Because we have seen situations like that in America, in Europe, everywhere. Because foog tam ñu bàyyi xel ne this is a pandemic bu nga xam ne it's coming for the first time. So even in advanced countries where medicine, science, and technology is way ahead of most African countries, they have a challenge, of how to deal with this virus. You understand? And another thing is like, okay, it's not an excuse, but if a country like America can run out of personal protection equipment for healthcare workers, what about Gambia? So I think what they need to do is more. What they need to do more is as we progress with regards to the COVID, ñu nekk di adjust seen plans yi pour mun a make sure at least healthcare workers, frontline workers, some of the necessary equipment that they need to do their job is available to them, and also send allowances you guys fay ak seen lekka and all those things is important, because once they are demoralized, you understand, send response towards patients dafa dem down, and some of the things you leen mën a demoralize mooy ñuy liggéey seen xel dalu ndax they can be infected or not. And xam nga Gambia, like, okay, especially the number of cases from the healthcare workers mu ngi dem rise. So yàggee people will get panic. You understand? Sa family so ñoo la wane bul dem, xam nga, So but I think collectively the Ministry of Health, the frontline workers, I think they've been doing a great job. And ñu ñaan yàlla daal yàlla mu génnee feebar bi.
Okay, so Rafi, back to my question balaa call bi di ñëw mooy we know very well ne tabaski baa ngee ñëw mu ngi approach, and then nit ñaa ngee génn outside. So maa ngi doon bàyyi xel tey around ma doon drive around Abuko and all of that, gis naa hardly nga gis comme jaaykat yi ñuy sol max. Obviously am na ñeneen ñu ko sol, but then most of young people ñoo xam ne ñu ngi around that and duñ dee sol max. So what needs to be done right now? Is it then police bi dañu war a police dañu war a make sure ñu am people yoo xam ne dañoo man up certain places pour control lii ñu ko solut ñu put leen in place, or what exactly?
That's all down to planning and lack of preparedness. Nga démarche seen woo bi rek, because yow xam nga ne tubaski mu ngi ñëw. It's not as if xamul ne tubaski mu ngi ñëw de. Xam nga date bu tubaski di war a dem. Te how many years léegi in Gambia xam nga lan moo di happen in tubaski. You get all these sàmmkat yi day indi seen xar yi across the border to come and sell. Ban preparedness or ban façon yi checks la nga am for these people who are coming to the border? I can guarantee you ne du amuñ kenn ku nekk si border sax di check everything is just flowing. Man keroog am na ku ma ne mu ngi dem Dakar sax man ne ko fan Dakar nga demee Dakar mu ne non am na ñu dee dem am na ñu dee fay ñu ne na crossal border bi te ñëpp xam nañ ñu lu happen. So gis nga ñun lii dañ ko jàppee caan, and I believe it's all part of leadership. because leadership bi suy wonee seriousness of this the population will follow. America soo gisee lu tax ñu nekk fu ñu nekk it's because seen leader bi lu mu nekk def dafa since beginning mu ngi jàppee li caaxaan ñu ko wax mu ne 15 cases it will go down to zero ak all these things. Look at what's happening now. Look at countries like New Zealand. Look at countries like South Korea that took this thing serious. They've tackled it. So pandemic like yes, but there are some measures that if you take it di nga ko mën a handle. But so ko jëlee fi caaxaan we see what's happening in America right now. And so your caaxaan ñun tam loolu mooy def because right now lii mu ngi spike. Julli mu ngi ñëw si. It's a very sensitive topic. Religion. War na ma ne jumaa yi dañ leen a bàyyi gars yi ubbi because dañoo ne Tabaski Korité tëjoon na Tabaski la doon but right now virus baa ngi spike. So I'm sure now they're having heavy decision now to make because everything now in Gambia is politics. So ñu ngi xalaat ndax nañ war a tëj jumaa yi are we supposed to implement lockdown or not? But every day like health worker war na la ko boo ko laajee na affaire si dafa increase lan la wax mu ne they're predicting for it to rise. So we have to be very careful because COVID bi léegi man bu COVID bi starté xaw moon kenn ko am waaye léegi mun naa xam at least 10 people out of my mind yoo xam ne man xam naa ne am nañ ko am naa benn worker ku bëgg a liggéeyal mu ngi ko am right now. Yeah, so it's not a joke anymore. It's something that is real and we really take serious measures on it. Waaye man ni ma gisee jaaykat yi xar yi man gisuma any measures bu gars yi put in place for them. They're just coming like before and like everything is normal nit yaa ngi groupé foofu dem di jënd a xar ak soluñ benn baas soluñ dara. So fu mu nekk nii daal yàlla ñu yàlla aar rek wante su dee government la ñoo xaar pour ñu dimbale ñu ñun everybody is on their own right now.
sa view affaire yi tabaski bi nu mu jegee yéen yeneen nit ñaa ngi roam around.
Comme ni ko Rafi waxee rek kenn mënut a stop kenn parce que it's a trend. So tabaski di ñëw Korité Fête Christmas everybody is hyped up. You know we thinking about is a festive mood celebration ñaw mbuba jëndam mbuba xar and now it's like xëy na Korité bi sax ñëpp a ngi kër parce que ñu ngi oor tooga ndogu waaye tabaski ñëpp a ngi génn pour wër ji xar duga xar so da ngaa gis ne dugalante bi méngoo bi jàmmalante bi yooyu noonu dafa bari te loolu it's a risk waaye ni ko Rafi waxee rek mu ngi wax ne ok there's plan so plan amoon wax na fi leena ne biñ waxee ne dañoo enforce this mask wearing you know it was a long time ago people had time no it wasn't a long time ago that was a week ago the spokesperson said they've taken the decision to say ne mask wearing is going to be mandatory now and if you don't wear it there will be consequences I mean hey dëkk bi fii nii mask am na ñu ko jaayee $50 am na ñu ko jaayee $100 gis naa mask ñu ko jaayee $250 sax am na ñu nag ñoo xam pour jël $250 jëndee ko mask bañuñ ko dañ ko munut am na luñ tal politicians yi suñ mënee jënd t-shirt how much does printing a t-shirt cost? It's $150. It depends on today polo la ay $250 la. So mu ne jënd t-shirt di ko distribute pour nit ñi campagne la di taacoo ko feeca di lekka benn cin lan moo tax du mun a ñaw mas nga distribute ko loo xam ne dafa aar nit ñi la su dee bugga nga dëkk bi bugga nga nit ñi bugga nga leen bugga yooyu noonu jox leen free mask. So why is the ministry su nekkee ne ñoom ñu ngi fay those huge allowances and they cannot distribute masks for free? If the government is saying I'm going to do it mandatory, why would you not give me the mask but you say if I don't wear it there will be consequences? Do you know man naka laa dëkkee da nga xam naka laa eewoo da nga xam ne am naa ko da nga xam ñaata doom laa am mënuma ko xëy na bañuma ko waaye mënuma ko su nekkoon ne da nga ko génnee nga joxe ko nga ne ku nekk sol ko bu ko borom solutee xam nga ku ko amul excuse then boobu di nga mun a naka lañ ko waxatee put consequences of people who fail to wear it but you haven't done that nga naan ku ko solut ay moo taxit ñii ñëw di jaay xar ak yooyu ñii génn ay noonu they trying to it's a survival of the fittest ñu ngi try pour get daily surviving means because xëy na ñu ci bari jaayuñ for the longest parce que lockdown bi border si munta ubbi we have a porous border I am amazed that you see this amount of people crossing to come pour jaay xar te ñu ne ñu ngi under state of emergency but I'm not surprised because again under state of emergency we saw opening of mosques under state of emergency we saw rallies under state of emergency we've seen so many gatherings so obviously this is only lii rek moo mun a am nothing else lii lañ mun a ga te dafaa gën a yokk parce que nekkuñ di def loo xam ne dafa stop the spread.
Daba nañu move to something else.
li ma gis mooy with regards to jumaa yi ak Tabaski it's important gis nga nit yi buñ dee sukkandaku suñ bëggee as Muslims nañ sukkandaku si diine because affaire quarantine bi ñoo wax ni yëpp islam indi na loolu 1400 years ago before the advancement of science so excuse yu gars yi wax ne dama bëgg a dem julli dama bëgg a def nangam islam wax nañu lan lañ war a def suñ demee ba that level lu ñu war a dundee wax nañu ko so foog naa suñ ko toppee we should not use religion as an excuse pour def risk the lives of people. You understand parce que yonent bi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mu ne su albala wàccee si dëkka soo fa nekkee bul génn su nekkee nekkuloo fa mu ne bul fa dem understand nga so I think ne suñ defee loolu ak social distancing yooyu noonu yëpp hadis bi indi na loolu yëpp so man I don't think ne loolu is an excuse if the need be ne government ñu stop nit yi pour buñ julli tobaski in groups they need to take this step pour def ko nu gaa yi logee down mosque gi su nekkee ne pandemic bi mu ngi rise to certain level and it becomes danger to the public they should lock down the mosque you understand okay another thing bi mooy man gëmuma ne political parties yi suñ munee jënda t-shirt it's true they can come in and help waaye tamit nañ bàyyi xel ne tamit nit yi yow foog naa sa wér-gu-yaram yow yaa ko war a gën a respectal sa boppa dan keneen ngay xaar keneen mu fekka la ko parce que the thing is suñ mu nee wax political parties yi ñu jënd masque we can equally ask people nit yaa ngay jënd credit ay $1,000 ay $800 di ko spend si megabytes toog di gossip suba ba ngoon or di distribute message yoo xam ne amul njëriñ understand nga so foog naa nit ki yow yaa it becomes a primary responsibility pour yow sa boppa understand nga njëkk a jël sa because look fagaru bi laa ngaa faju you understand probably most of these political parties amuñ xaalis sax pour run seen party si toog less of mën a distribute mass to their supporters and man gëmuma ne yenn ay political parties yi dañ ko war a def parce que su nekkee ne parti bi mu ngi spend xaalis te ñun xamuñ fan la xaalis bi di jógee you understand this may force certain political parties ñu dem def lu nekk pour am xaalis just because gis nañ ne parti A mu ngi koo def I want to compete so ëllëg fan la moo jëlee xaalis boobu who is funding those things so pour man it's about time and I am happy ne ñu li fi mu ngi ñëw to take up those things you know nit yi ñu xam political parties fan la gaa yi jëlee seen xaalis so I think nit yi ñoo war a jël li seriously ñu xam ne lu am la ñu respect ko so with regards to Harry am def naa si investigation am na ñu ma doon waxal foog naa they came up with ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi jënd xar di jaay foog naa am certificate bi ñu la dee jox nga dem si border bi when you saw that out dañ dee xam so Senegalese yi comme au ñu those coming from other places ngeen meet si border bi ngeen swap notwithstanding ñun we have a porous border Gambia Sénégal nit yi dañoo dooj dugga without ñu jaar si main entry point si loolu moom is fixed mënuñ ko stop and it will continue to happen beneen bi mooy I was told also ne tamit am na 30,000 xar yi war a jógee Mauritanie but they are coming by sea understand ok lii wax bi mooy I'm not a scientist waaye ndax xar mun naa carry virus bi tamit lu ñu war a laajte la pour mu leer ak what kind of test are they doing su nekkee la mën a happen la you understand because in this time of Tobaski people will get in contact with Harry understand nga so ndax they can carry the virus if they can carry the virus what modalities are on the ground to make sure ne all the Harry yu ñëw si dëkk bi ñu ngi la ñoo test or what kind of awareness creation are they creating for people to understand ak symptoms si suñ ko amee naka la moo mel pour nit yi xam
Okay, now you close with this society affaire corona bi. Does it make sense that dinañ mën a continuer because yaa ngi doon wax loolu noonu ne nit ñaa ngi ñëw through flights ak yooyu noonu and then now it's becoming very hard pour gars yi mën a accommodate gars yi ndax naa dañu war a stop lii and then ñu make sure ne nit ñi am self isolation nga xam ne dañoo stay at home instead of ñu war a gather in one hotel mu ñëw cost a lot of money.
Right now flights yu bëri yu ñëw. I think every flight bu ñëw Gambia am na passenger bu am case of COVID. So opening of the flights also is a problem because the more passengers are coming, the more cases that we have it. But right now, maa ngi dégg ne even gars yi discuss at government level ne the cost of the quarantine is becoming unsustainable, and they are even considered of closing the airspace because of mënatuñoo accommodate guy. am na sax ku doon tweet di other day xam Facebook la ko doon tweet la ko doon seen di wax ne yee moom su ñëwee Gambie dafa am free holiday because mu ngi dem ci si hotel bi dallu so loolu yëpp war nañ ko seet man foogoon naa ne lii mënoon nañ ko def in a way boo xam ne they just emergency la hotel owners some of them are Gambians and I think they would like to contribute towards the development of this country so they dëkk baa ngay face problème yu mel nii ñu si weer emergency mënoon nañ ne oo ñu seet how they can make everything to be cost effective rather than this exuberant cost ñoo dégg ne mun na ngaa di spend
so yow support loo idea bi pour nit ñi mun a dem seen kër yi ñu stay away isolate a little bit from the family ak yooyu noonu
non xam nga support naa loolu su gaa ñëwee kan la war a isolate because ku ñëw
instead of su ñëwee to a point bi mënuñoo kéetali anymore pour war a gaara gaay si hotel te yooyu noonu ne airspace bi ñu open ko waaw airspace bi open and then still gars yi ngi nekk seen kër
only option mooy is dañu close airspace bi which is a problem of its own also. Or negotiate a hotel and said how they can get it cheaper in a way that is sustainable. Why they cannot let them in and then they go to their families, because if they go to their families, they will spread it there too.
Because honestly, poor man, because so you know, you need to be smart about the whole thing. From the start, you look at, okay, we had closed the borders and the airspace, and how rapidly was the virus spreading during that time? How much did we incur in terms of cost when it comes to quarantine, and you will see that because most of the cases are imported, because for our first case was the flight from England, the lady, the female lady, okay, and then you teach, then the Ustaz guy that came through Senegal or whatever, Mauritania, Bangladesh guy, exactly. So those are things that people need to study. I mean, the people, the COVID-19 response team, study it and see where the problems, arise and where are we falling short, and then you try to develop. Obviously, it's clear. Can need to put jail pen people who been the lulunsa. Opening the airspace is risky. It's causing us a lot of problems, okay? Right now, what's the point? So, the holiday, yang holiday. Can mo fe holiday, yang Europe, am a 1 month holiday. Already 2 weeks, 14 days, yang in quarantine. What's the holiday? Your holiday, hotel Ubiwood, restaurant Ubiwood, and a club Ubiwood. Learn your holiday, Togal, stay at home, stay, and then the save you. Huh? Exactly. Togal. Then so go back, close the airspace, close it down. Other countries have done that until they were able to copy it, and then they open up. What's the point of opening it and then you get in all these cases? You get incur a lot of costs with quarantining. You get incur a lot of costs because kuchi infected, you infect lopitan. So the problem is like a chain. It's increasing, causing from one problem is causing another, is causing another. So it's not beneficial at all. Why are we doing it then? Close it so that we can cope what is in here already, and when we are shown it, we are able to contain it. People are safe, then you open it. Then business will go as usual. Because Manga go close, and then you contain Lifineka, then businesses will be open. Then make sure you just have restrictions. And then you tell me new dega. But the government be then you work to new Jeff, send what have barrited the new def dapat tuti. Come mean sa wah yapla. So you then def regulations enforce it. While you may put the regulations forward, you then can force people to break it. You then can force people to disregard it. Because if you do that, yo man genu loma buga gena pour ligay. Magis ni yena ko def pare yo respect to loko. Mani duma ko respect. Linga def dama ko def because man ma génn pour dem def ci pour suma boppal ak suma family ñoom seen boppal let them lead by examples, let them say regulations, let them enforce it and make sure they live by it. All these gatherings that they're doing, it's unnecessary. Now the world have moved into the virtual world. All these meetings are unnecessary. Go online and do the meetings. It's more productive, it's more efficient, it cuts down on time, and you can achieve a lot. And by my gathering yini. That's the only thing we can do. If not, now we'll just be wasting money like that. And just be talking about it over and over and over.
Okay, Daba, sa gis-gis. Daba, and then ñu jéem a conclude show bi.
No, xam nga close international airspace bi xam nga usually government du jóg rek mu close down those things because also dëgg la Gambia la but Gambia am na yeneen dëkk yu bokkal airspace back and those other stuff. And another thing also tam buñ fàtte ne am na Gambians yu nga xam ne nii ñu ngi tukki woon outside corona bi mu ngi leen fekka foofu noonu. And probably they may want to come back home. Yaa ngi am yenn Gambians and non-Gambians yoo xam ne tam ñu ngi woon around here on holidays and probably they want to go back to their families. So man li ma gis mooy maybe they come up with a strategy to say ne anybody who is coming in country 1 week before nga travel to Gambia nga carry out a test and then you are issued a certificate. So ñëwee si entry point bi you show out this certificate then gars yi jël sa details sa contact ak sa address fooy stay. You understand? And probably also ñu laa follow up ñu am team boo xam ne nii ñooy bëgg di call gars yi di leen follow up and then di check so ba pare tamit ñu wax la ne sa body temperature su started di change o nga cappa yenn symptômes si den nga call 1026 gars yi ñëw jël si la 1025 non gars yi ñëw jël si la then pour run down another test pour xool ndax yaa ngi ok or not su nekkee amuñ call from you 1 week after bi nga ñëwee si dëkk bi ñoom ñu call la pour defaat another test to see ndax yaa ngi clean o ba léegi yaa ngi am virus so without loolu foog naa the cost of putting people in hotels loolu mënta nekk ba pare what I cannot understand xanaa kon hotel yi nii package buñ prepare pour hotels yi because maa ngi gis si supplementary living bi about $100 million you know stand for the hotel industry, you know, for the entertainment industry. So xanaa kon hotel you guys use during this process of quarantine xanaa ñooñu duñ bokk ci package bi. And also you know right now nii ñoom suñ demutee foofu noonu hotel si will lockdown dañoo lockdown duñu am business. So I think it's about time gars yi toogaa hotel si tamit ba pare these people most of these people also doomi réew bi lañ. So gars yi toogee waxtaan ak ñoom probably they can give them 75% reduction of what is being charged currently, because lii moom is not sustainable. So as an entrepreneur nga make $2 a day is better than not making anything. Because if they don't use their hotels pour def ko quarantine center, they will not be making money.
Okay. No, Rafi, now nañ bàyyi am topic bii nii, and I know ne dinañ si bëgg di ñëw all the time because génnaguñ ci problème bi yàlla ñu yàlla jàppale. But Rafi, now ñu ngi gis problème yi trafic, ñu ngi gis tali yi ñu ngi am problème ndox yi fu nekk. Da nga gis nit di dawal from traffic light ba Senegambia or let's say ba Tontable, and it will take you more than 1 hour just from traffic light ba Tontable. All the time I can drive around this end. What exactly do you think Lola government war a def, and then you conclude with that?
It's terrible because ñu ñëpp gis nañ conditions ci roads yi every time during nawet naka la day mel. And the reason why you see in the increased traffic is because su taw bi bare moto yi dañ dee avoid side roads yi obviously because mu ngi am poto mu ngi am, so everybody wants to come on the main road, and by doing so sooy dem Bruce bi for example traffic bi dafa starté from Palmarima la start ñooñu moom ñoo gën a garaaw sax. So loolu suñ infrastructure bi is completely dilapidated now and doesn't fit for purpose. Definitely, and something needs to be done. Let me just give you one scenario right now. Suma wakasi dafa am project bu ma am Bara ak Abdallah, from there gaa dañ war a proceed to Farafenni. So xam nga from Bara am na tali boo dee mën a jël bu laa yóbbu straight Farafenni. Gis nga ndox yi fu mu dee jaar si tali bi ñaar yaa xar ñaari section. So léegi area boobu is cut off. Imagine only we are a country and one of the major artery roads of this country is being cut off. So léegi ñoom suñu war a dem Farafenni dañoo war a dem léegi Bara instead of ñu continuer dañoo war a ñib si waat baat tey si ngoon dañ ëllëg gaa jër beneen road bi saa bank bi pour dem cross si bridge pour war a dem Farafenni. So imagine the amount of losses I'm making as a company. And what about the passengers yoo xam ne right now ñu ne suñu war a dem taxi dañoo demee foofu ñu stop léegi ñu taxi gars yi bis impact ñu korsa seen tànka yi beneen taxi xaar leen jëla leen so léegi ñu ngay fay ñaari pass. So it's very imaginal te loolu nga happen almost 1 week léegi da ko ji si wax dara sax lu important comme tali boobu noonu loolu nga xam ne is one of is a very imaginal léegi su nit feebaree nag ñu war laa faj naka nga def. So suñ tali yi are non existent, suñ tali yi ñu ngi bon every year su tawee potholes yaa ngi gën a yokku tali yaa ngi gën a bon. dëkk bi daal dafa mel ni fii dara doxu fii loolu laal ñu ne doxut dara doxut man mënu ma understand ñun ban direction la ñu dem as a country. Fii health system, education.
So how about OIC send projects you guys am towards roads you guys war a fix ak yooyu noonu.
OIC ana caméra moo la jël OIC maa ko wax OIC du am Gambia loolu du fi musa am because préparation suñu war a def hôtel suñu war a bil tali yi ñu war a sampa Covid-19 mu xew nii nawet bi fan la ñoo dem mel ne ñoo bil loolu yëpp right now ana xaalis bi sax in the first place xaalis bi sax ñëwaangut Saudi Arabia sax ñoo talangut OIC right now ñoom seen xaj bi sax amaagut ñu ngi cancel everything. OIC xaw ma ban yéen lañ ko am fii de xëy na maybe kañ la 2021 xëy na 2022 xëy na 21 22 nga am Gambia waaye du fi am time bi.
Situation in road.
Well, the thing is, you know, we thought we are progressing because yon you born yaga na fi, okay? We thought we are progressing. I mean, thank God during Jawara time, roads were bad. You know, I'm the roads they were even non-existent. Then you know, built a lot of roads and third roads. People are benefiting from it now. But then again. okay waaye 100 million boobu noonu seedoo ngeen 89 million bi okay you're only 89 minus and 100 minus 89 loolu ñaata ci de 11 right so 11 million ngeen war a jël pour defar road obviously road boobu munta baax boobu noonu du last long and loolu lañ gis moo nekk ci country bi nii because road soo la ci expert a basic they will tell you at least a tar road you should have maybe 6 to 7 layers of tar or whatever waaye demal exactly and road bi boo doo ko soo ko defaree defuloo drainage which means ne it's as good as not even making it because ndox boobu noonu potholes yooyu noonu yi dafa come back to affect it waaye soo waree def 7 layers nga def 2 loolu su taw bi tawee daf koo xoos te ñun gis nañ ne suñ defar road yëpp it's like level ko la man sax ku ma joxoon contract ma spark fu mu nekk nii parce que dama ko master it's like level ko la sooti fa suuf boo xam xala nga dér ko den tuur fa godorong bi understand nga bàyyi ko tuuti mu wow nga tuur fa basalt bi understand nga den nga tuur fa godorong bi nga dér ko jeex na that's the process give it to me I'm gonna make it seriously I'm sure suma hire woon Daba ne ko kay I have a contract Daba will come and then we'll do it we'll make money and we'll do it in less money that we can do all the roads in the streets and stuff like that so we need to go back to the core ñi tasked with the responsibility of getting these monies to give out these bids and for people to do the road ñoo war a nekk honest people in themselves they need to people who love country people who want to see this country progress exactly Banjul moom liggéey bi jeexagul sax xoola affaire bi naka laa foogee
léegi ba xaaral saa ñu join léegi Alhaji Mamadou Sabal
waaw Alhaji la de
tey nama nañ la de
my apologies, it's all possible circumstances.
Rafi mu ne nama na la
Mr. Rafi.
Okay, so Sabali, quickly, because you don't buga was Biri, but I know that you've spent a lot of time with Biri. So buga nañ nga wax tuuti rek ci Biri nga bala ñu Uncle Biri.
Well, he was a great guy, a patriot. I don't think a more patriotic pair of feet ever kicked a ball on behalf of the Gambia. Biri, he was not only a footballer, but somebody who served his country, as Deputy Mayor of Banjul, fully integrated with the community as his Dabaki, Councillor of Banjul, Kerok Modonwa. He actually has videos of Nyom Dongoi, the Howard Biri, Simbe, Dabidi Wahtan. He was not very affable, very humble, full of life, full of passion for life. Really amazing guy and a great loss to the whole country.
Okay, so now just quickly, nañ la jox chance bi bala ma move to Daba. You don't discuss about corona beeg yooyu noonu sa take on government send preparation towards this and naka la ko gaay nekk di tackle so far nako gisee yow nako géejee.
The coronavirus. Well, Ansu, one man you can watch the weakest link in the fight against coronavirus is Dr. Samate. Among the leadership skills, the people skills to lead and manage the health sector, guy Tupsiko, Nidima Saga, Nidima attack. I still stand by that statement 100%. The weakest link in the fight against coronavirus is Dr. Samate. Munuta lead staff and he will motivate. Frontline workers becce mënuñoo am adequate PPE mënuñoo am seen allowances yi te Adama Barrow moom du ma ko wax boobu failure bi is so pervasive everybody knows it but Dr. Samate should do us a favor and resign keroog dama mer maa ngi dégg Dr. Samate mu ngi wax ne dañu war a def stricter lockdown measures we have to do lockdown measures why because Samate is not doing his job yàlla def ñu musal si corona Gambian si ñooy lor seen boppa léegi and the key the worst coronavirus in Gambia, as far as I'm concerned, our coronavirus is Adama Barrow and Dr. Samate.
Okay, so now Sabali, quickly, you gis nañu ngi ci Tabaski bi of course. We know ne Tabaski bi nit ñu bëre ngey génn pour jënd xar ak yooyu noonu. Lan nga foog loolu la government war a def na dañ war a close down juma yi ak yooyu noonu ñu war a just pour mun a wàññi numbers because we know ne numbers yaa ngi escalate.
Well, juma yi lañ yëpp so let them go ahead and close it. Adama Barrow li fi def kenn musu ko def in our history not Jawara not Jammeh ci suñ juma yi ba pare ubbi football party football yi at Marseille. That's what he can do. He doesn't like religion, so let him go ahead and close the mosques. It's okay.
Okay. Now, Sabal, quickly. Nañ ñëw si road bi project bi in Banjul mooy buñ jox Mr. Guy how ma naka exactly. So no gisee loolu noonu because now we know ne Guy ngee suffer a lot because of seen tali yi ñu ngi wax ne baaxut mooy Banjul ñu just recently construct.
xam nga lu xew. Road si buñ ko waroon a discuss di tey. Road C from the onset nañ ko waroon a discuss at the level of the council of the National Assembly members Banjul gisuma any National Assembly member who took at the right time to criticize this project, to try to hold the government accountable. The only person who came out was Rohim Malik Low. What happened? You attack Cornelium Death is not respectful to Bailamin Job, as if Bailamin Job, Malaikala. Bailamin Job, Mambure Jai, ak Musa Drane, these are the dangerous triumvirate in Barrow's government. These are the three key mafia people, you know, having loot the country. While Rohim Malik Low was just asking for answers. I mean, and I didn't think that there was anything wrong about that. Yeah, get that project from what they did. They must have the details. They did not tell her, and people were trying to blame her for trying to hold the government accountable. Where are all the three National Assembly members for Banjul? Where are the councillors? And then the floods happened, and they blamed the roads. And so I don't jump to conclusions there. One Banjul project, I don't like it. But whether floods the project be more focused, that's a question to be asked. Whether the drains properly clean, that's a question to ask, for instance.
So, okay.
Gambia, I mean, Hanga, towards Linde, what is stick in time saves 9. Lower the support, they say, there's not see a lot of trouble in the future. Banjul project, it is not the time to discuss it. This is what have gone down the bridge. Unfortunately, mark my words, it seems the Banjul people like that project. Let them enjoy it.
Okay, Sabali, waaw bi baax na kon xam naa bi nañ la gis si beneen gis-gis waati.
Jërëjëf ma yokk si leen rek Adama Barrow that posthumous award been jox Biri, I don't like it. I think it's political tokenism. Buri should have been honored and respected and rewarded by Adama Barrow when Biri was still alive. While we thank Yaya Jammeh for recognizing him and honoring him as Deputy Mayor of Banjul. Rest in peace.
Sabali jërëjëf waay. Naa la gis léegi tey. Waaw gannaaw amu ko Lapet su ma dëkk amu ko waaye suñu dëkk moo gën a nekk taw waaw dara léegi tey ma gis la baax na am na after gis-gis ok Sabali ok Daba sa gis-gis si mooy just situation bi mooy road su nekk Banjul and then you just conclude show bi.
xam nga Banjul project. it's a welcome project moom. definitely because Banjul city la. you know. waaye man li ma waree. from the beginning. see project like this you need a master plan drawing. pour drainage système bi. pour electrical cable si fan la ñoo jaar. water pipe si fan la ñoo jaar.
computer simulation pour wala story
traffic light si fan la moo nekka. park si fan la ñoo nekka. guy yi nga xam ne dañ leen war a sampa si biir dëkk bi parce que mënumaa gis ngay développe. Banjul. you understand. amuloo any plan for the environment. because pour moom
hold on.
you understand mënoon naa nekk a way of motivating even borom kër yi nekk Banjul soo sampee 10 guy si sa bunti kër bi. ñu exemple la pour nga fay tax for 1 year. understand nga just because guy yooyu noonu suñu magee. you want to pick somebody.
ok bala leen ñu rek dañoo jël coach Pasamba Jow coach moom tamit yàgg na di spend time with of course ñum Biri and then yàgg na fii Gambia mu ngi doon nekk koo xam ne ku active la si football coach Pasamba yaa ngi ñoo join the US coach loo am pour wax ci affaire yi Biri.
Well, thank you, Ansu. Gaa yi nekk for suma two brothers here ak sister bi. Biri di ko njëkk a jaale all Gambians. Particularly family because Biri, like I see, is one of the greatest citizens that we have ever produced. In that when Biri was plying his trade around the world, Gambia was not known. Why he took it upon himself to become the ambassador of our country. He was able to sell our country in the world. And Biri am loo xam ne Ansu amul kenn ku ko am si àdduna not Pelé, not Maradona, not Gullit, not Johan Cruyff, you name it. Biri is the only person in the world who after stopping playing for a team 42 years ago, every day or every week bu team am play home game, Biri's name dinañ ko wéy. There is nobody else who has that in the world, no one. And I hope ne deyam dina nekk another lesson to us, a teachable moment. That we should always work towards celebrating our people while they are alive.
So coach yow la nga foog ne loolu la dëkk bi war a defal Biri of course we know ne bu mu doon duna defuñ ko government mi defuñ ko of course and then we know ne countries like Senegal dañ dee celebrate seen legends ak yooyu noonu now Biri nekkut around lan nga foog ne loolu la government bi war a def pour make sure ne lii mu stick to memory Gambians yi ak tamit generation si ñëw.
Man dama foog ne Biri there were 4 things that I was asking for. One of them happened na mooy the national funeral bu ñu am. But there are other three things nga xam ne can happen and it's not going to cost the government even a penny. One mooy I think ne anybody ku xam Banjul xam perseverance ko ñi biiri lañ la lee wax. So I think ne it would be a great thing to name perseverance after Biri. I think that would be wonderful. The Independence Stadium, we've been working on that since 2011 ak ñoom Buhari Gassama ak yooyu noonu so that the Independence Stadium will be renamed the Biri Biri National Stadium. And I think that can be done. Ba pare ñun ñëpp gis nañ arch bi nga xam ne was built foofu noonu there was a statue bi nga xam ne woo fa nekkoon they removed it. There is no greater citizen. There is no greater citizen of Banjul than Biri. And this is an idea about somebody who used to play for Walid and Tafa Boy brought it up and it makes sense. I think they should be able to have a statue of Biri. Because this is a guy who has always been very loyal to Banjul. Biri is one of the oldest Banjulians. You have Musta Hadi, them Utifenen Fumdeka. His home remains in Banjul, and I think that is something that should be done for him. And I think maybe not only Birisa, the government should start looking at, okay, you know what, all these people who have done something for our country, how are we going to repay them? We don't need all the streets, McDonald streets and all these things, and we have Gambian legends. You how many have done, whether in politics, whether in sports, and name them after this, so that Halisa at least would remember them. Even schools can be named after some of these people. I think those are the things that we can do, Ansu.
Okay, now coach, sorry, Mangla asked this question, has nothing to do with you, but still I think you can participate because I know in the US, the corona bi mu ngi am doole fofu a lot, and then right now ñu ngi gis Gambia ñu ngi numbers close to 200. Lan nga am pour advise government ben dañu close with this?
Ansu, this is a very serious problem for When I work in the healthcare system, the United States fu nekk soo ko gisee ak dooleem yëpp this thing has now ravaged this country where dem nañ fu nekk di am ay 60,000-70,000 cases a day. I think the Gambia government should be a lot more serious in tackling this matter. The most important thing was they should also make sure the healthcare workers have all the necessary equipments that they need with PPEs. They cannot be excused now because they are now being produced. When I get them, I do supply, so they are coming. They are now being produced by China. Even in June, I think that some of the monies that are being made by this government should divide them into getting the PPEs so that at least they will be able to arsen Bopa. And I think to the Gambian people too, this is not a joke. It's a very serious problem. It has pretty much put the whole world on standby. Nothing moves because of this thing. So let's take it seriously. And I believe, especially in Gambia, we should be a lot more careful.
Yeah, because
we have a healthcare system is non-existent, and it cannot survive on the weight of COVID-19. And you see now the frontline workers from nekk ñoom ñooy gën a feebar. And ñun waa ji ku laaxul lekk du laax jaay. Bala ngaa dégg sangu bala ngaa ne nam ne fa. So when I think that we have to be a lot more serious, otherwise we are in deep trouble. Ansu.
All right, coach. Coach, thank you very much. Thanks a lot for joining us. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Coach, ñu ngi laa jaajëfal. Thank you very much. Xam naa da ngeen ñu excuse next week inshallah. I don't think ne dinañ ñëw because of Tabaski. That Friday dañoo nekk ci beneen mood ci beneen level. But then the following week dinañ ñëw inshallah pour indi leen beneen gis-gis boo xam ne dafa ite askan bi. Ñu ngi baalu ci nee na nu mu solul max bi because of a reason moo tax mënu ko sol. But then week after inshallah dinañ ñëw for another gis-gis. Thank you very much. Bye. Thank you. Asalaamaaleykum mbokk yi di seetaan li nga xam ne mooy gis-gis waxtaane si li nga xam ne rek mooy yóbbu dëkk bi kanam.
The Constitution provides President can declare a state of emergency in two circumstances. Now I believe Gambia security is at risk for invasion. He has a right. Constitutional code, as it can last for 2 weeks.
ñëpp gis ngeen ne dañu oote ne nañ ànd soppi nguur gi fi nekkoon loolu pexe la parti yi bokkuñu xalaat bokkuñu jubluwaay lii pexe la rek pour génnee ngu réew ci loxo benn nit te jubluwaay bi mooy won ne fexe nag nit ñi moom réew mi ne nañu ànd ci xel ñu tabaxaat réew mi.
Dega Bimo, you want to be humble and everything. Why you are not an ordinary minister in this cabinet? That's true. Because you are head of the UDP, you are like a father figure to most of the...
Mr. Saba, lolu moy sa gis-gis.
Lolu moy dega. It's the fact. Whether mom accept or not, lolu moy dega. So the point is, lu ñoo latte moy